And don't forget to send.
Can be caused by the weak and under skin.
I didn't grab a blended one and I rolled one for her. What's going on? Oh, what can we say here? What can we say here? Shit is crazy. What was happening this morning? So Melania Trump, did she show up yesterday? Because I know she was supposed to make her public appearance yesterday, but I haven't seen anything about it. So I assume it didn't happen, like I said. Or how about the fucking watch? I called it. I told you yesterday. I told my grandfather yesterday that Golden State will go up 3 games to none. And then LeBron will start playing like he's supposed to, because I've been watching a little bit that I've been watching. I keep thinking, when's LeBron going to start playing? Actually, I only saw 1 game. And part of 1 game, but still. It just seemed like, I always make the argument that I take LeBron over Jordan. But from what I've seen, especially these last little bit, there's no fucking way. He passes too much. He's too passive. It's weird. Still can't do shit with my live feed. Tried. Put it that way. I don't know what's going on. It won't let me confirm my identity. It's fucking strange. And I figured it out. I figured out why I'm missing. Or why this is going on. It's because, and it happened this time last year too. I'm gonna be blocked every year during this time, I think. Of course I do. It's all good. Just don't let them see. It's illegal shit, you know.
Right.
No problem. What the fuck was I just talking about? God damn it. I was just talking about something. And she interrupted me and threw me off. So, I think I was telling my grandfather, they're doing this for LeBron's legacy. No team has ever done the comeback from 3 games down and all that. Watch. I don't remember what I was just talking about. Oh, and of course there's nobody here. It's just ridiculous. It's just ridiculous. God damn it, I wish I remember what I was talking about. I tell you, I'm not gonna be on very long today since I keep shutting my shit down. And I'm so irritated, so fucking frustrated. You show me somebody else that gets the fucking censorship I do, and maybe I'll back off a little bit. But as of right now, I don't know anybody else in my boat. I'm gonna stick with it being fucked up. What do you do, right? All right. Talking about the first lady missing, and just amazed that that's not getting more attention. What? Just don't know what to do. Don't know what to say. I mean, I'm trying. You know, I'm still doing my thing. It doesn't seem to be very successful. I actually seem pretty stupid. It seems like the definition of insanity, to tell you the truth. For me to continue doing this nonsense, it seems kind of stupid, kind of futile, right? Because what's the fucking point? If they're gonna shut every aspect of me down, what's the fucking point? It seems crazy that, I mean, even as something as stupid as, you know, I have 283 or 85 subscribers, whatever it may be. Nobody, even on this, even out of those 285, nobody fucking sees that I'm live and decides to join. It just seems strange. Got a weird ass blanket. Look, you can see the edge of it. So we've got this weird looking blanket overhead. Trying to get a better shot. Can't believe how much that tree has grown since last year. It's huge. Never really noticed it till I started this year. Actually, is when because I've been filming for years now. But oh yeah, so that's what it was. What's up, one person? I'm assuming it's Scott. I know why they blocked me. I know why I'm on restriction this time of year. So this time of year in 2016 is when I was going at it, well, is when the whole Ken O'Keefe situation went down. And the exposure of Ken O'Keefe, really. And thank you, sir. Appreciate you, Scott. Actually copied. I took screenshots of shit because I'm allowed to still sign into the main. I can still sign into my main Facebook page. I just can't do anything with it. Can't post, can't comment, can't like, can't do anything. But I can still see what I've posted. You know, I can still do the on this day. And on this day, last year I was blocked. And obviously this year I am. But 2016, yesterday was the day that I got the response from Ken O'Keefe. From Ken. From the TJP, whatever the fuck that is. I don't even know. And I plan on posting that video once I get back, you know, live again. And once I get the ability to post again, I'm going to post that video up because I was able to save it. And it's nothing. It doesn't, you know, it doesn't show anything. It's just me talking, but it's my in response to the response that I got from Ken. Fuck it. While we're here, we'll talk the Ken O'Keefe story. So it was this time of year, 2016. It had actually been going for a little while. Let's see, if we're in June now. So I got hurt in March of 2015. March, April, yeah, March. And when I got hurt, I had, you know, 400 following, or 400 friends, like 30 following. I had nothing on my Facebook page. And right when I got hurt, I learned that I was gonna, well, actually it was more like I got hurt, and then it was a couple of weeks later that I learned that I was going to be out of work for a while. So that's when I decided to, let's give the Bilderberg group a shot. You know, I had that idea for the Bilderberg group for a while. You know, I wanted the, I mean, I'm 39, I was 37 at the time, 36 at the time, Jesus. So I thought, fuck it, I'll give it one last hurrah. Mm-hmm. Piece of shit, mailman. So I called up my buddy in Germany, who I had done my original work with 10 fucking years ago. I was like, hey, dude, I'm kind of stuck. You know, I don't have any fucking money. You know how it works. You know the deal. But I got this idea for this group. So, since I got nothing else to do, I'm going to fucking give it one last shot. You know, maybe I can make it. So we put together the Bilderberg group. We dropped the first tune, I think it was in June 1st maybe, of 15. So by May of 16, and this just the truth. This just another testament to the idea that something fucked up is going on with my page, because within that first year, I blew my page up to 5,000 friends, and you know, 2,000 some following. Like it, I was able to blow the feed up, and I was doing chemtrail videos a lot back then, and it was back before there was a live feed, so it was just I would make my videos and then I would upload them, and you know, some of those videos would get into the thousands of views. I started to obviously make a name for myself if my numbers were, you know, if I went from nothing to something in a year. And come May-ish, June-ish, sometime around that time, you know, sometime in that area. Well, actually, I guess March, April-ish, I had discovered Ken O'Keefe fully. Like, I had seen him throughout my truther journey, but never really followed him, because I'm not a big fan of following people, because they usually let you down. Well, when I discovered Ken, I was like, fuck yeah, finally. Somebody that's saying all the right shit. And I wrote the Samson option, and we knocked that out. We put it out there. You know, based on, just inspired by the talks of Ken O'Keefe. You know, he definitely influenced that piece. He gave me the title for it, you know. So I started watching all of Ken's videos and fell in love. Found him on Facebook, connected with the official Ken O'Keefe site, because there was a couple, but one was obviously the more official one. I sent them the Samson option, was like, hey, you know, Ken's really awesome. He's the only guy out there doing what's supposed to be done, saying all the things said. Check out my song, the Samson option. I'd love to hear what he thinks, or what you think, Ken. I assumed it was Ken. I got no response. And a couple weeks goes by, maybe a week. and me being so insatiable when it comes to like information and truth and stuff. During that week, I had been just devouring everything I could find on Ken O'Keefe. And there was the Amanda Danielle situation was happening similarly. I think it was happening along the same time, but I don't know. I guess I didn't see that on this day, so maybe the Amanda Danielle thing is next in the timeline. But I noticed with Ken O'Keefe that he's missing, so to speak. Like, he'd been doing this tour throughout 2015, and he'd been going to different campuses, school campuses, and doing lectures, basically. And somebody would film it and put it online. And it was just Ken talking, Morning, Grace. Just Ken talking and doing his thing. And it was awesome. I noticed there was like a couple of red flags in it, but for the most part, you just overlook it. It's like, oh wow, he's drinking a beer. Who gives a shit? I smoke dope all the time. What nothing there. Just weird little things, just sort of off-putting things, but you overlook it, like I say. So I noticed that the tour stopped and that there hadn't been anything posted from Ken in like a month. And I was like, hey, what's going on? Where's Ken O'Keefe? And I started looking some more, and I noticed that the last official sighting of him, the last time he's been filmed or whatever, he was at one of his things in, I think it was in BC, in Vancouver. It was in Canada somewhere. It might have been Toronto, but I think it was on that side. And it was the ADL was filming him. And they were outside the coffee shop or whatever that he was in, and they were protesting loudly, and they were violently, loudly, angrily, aggressively protesting. And the last shot of the video is them zooming in on a window, and Kim standing there looking kind of scared, looking out the window, and that was the last of it. And I was like, wait a minute. What the fuck happened? I'm sure we would have heard something if they did something. So what happened to Ken? So I start putting out the videos. Maybe the beginning of June, somewhere around there. Start putting out videos asking, where's Ken O'Keefe? In my videos, I'm saying, hey, and this is back when I could share my videos into the groups the like-minded groups that I have to request to join, and then I join, they allow me to join. So if I'm posting in those groups, it's like-minded people, like-minded posts, all that shit. So I post in all these groups, and back, like I said, I could probably post in the 50 groups back in the day. Nowadays, I post in the 5 groups, and my page gets blocked. But back then, it was quite a bit. So I'm posting my videos, I'm saying, hey everybody, all the truthers out there, drop what you're doing, chemtrail activists, political activists, environmental, everybody, you guys need to stop. We need to find our brother. This guy he's a fucking leader. He's a top ranking general. if you're in an army. But it's like I've never done this for me. I know it's hard to believe that somebody that makes music and goes live every day doesn't do it for the popularity aspect of things. Bitches about his numbers all the time. But it's not like the numbers, the popularity, all that shit, that doesn't matter to me as far as who I am as a person. My ego is sky high anyway. All it does is, you know, the numbers mean more people are engaging in the conversation. So that's why I harp on that so much. But it's not like I give a shit personally. But at the time, you know, so I'm starting to get popular, and you know, my numbers are decent. You know, it's back then it seemed like by now I would be huge. It just seemed like it, with the progression was happening, you know, I was getting picked up left and right, either getting put on truther podcasts, or, you know, people were just sharing the shit out of my videos. And Scott, you know, I'm only talking to Scott right now. Hopefully there's other people that will end up seeing this video. But Scott's been here since then, so Scott can attest to the fact that I'm not lying. You know, back then it seemed like I was just on the path. I was doing everything right. So I say, you know, hey everybody, we need to stop. You know, our brother's missing. We need to find him. You know, this is important. I'm all about pedophilia being the #1 issue. I get it, but right now we need to find this guy. Yes, sir. Very much so, says Scott, who's not here anymore, apparently. But, you know, and like I said, but this is back when these are just videos. You can't even go live. So when I'm doing a live video, or posting a video, and when all's said and done, that video has 3/4. It shows that I don't have anybody watching. It says 0 up top. That's so weird. But so I'm putting out all these videos, and they're starting to get thousands of views. And at the same time, you know, I'm getting friend requests, and I get friend requested by Max Egan. I didn't request Max Egan. Max Egan requested me. Samantha Bachman, who I think is a much less known character, but she's a character nonetheless. She requested me. I'm just rolling my J's for the day, lol. Good for you, brother. But those two people, along with a lot of other people, but those two people specifically, they contact me. And they both contact me like a day or two apart. Not even two, a day apart. It's either that day or the next day, you know. Same day or the next day, whatever. And both of them tell me that our association has to be secret. And that they like what I'm doing. They were a part of the Ken O'Keefe thing, behind the scenes. You know, Max Egan's very well known to be associated with Ken, but Samantha Bachman says she was more behind the scenes. But they both tell me how, you know, they're feeding me the information, and then the information is leaking to you guys, and it's really kind of weird, actually. Like, I've never been in that position before, and I got really excited because I thought, holy shit, maybe I'm getting moved. Who knows? But they both proceed to tell me, Derek just mentioned to me in a comment on Facebook, too bad I can't fucking do anything about it, because, you know, I'm the most hated man on Facebook. But like I say, as things are happening, like, so I'm getting fed the whole Ken O'Keefe took the money and run and all that. I'm getting that story, and then it's breaking. And they're telling me all this stuff. Like, they're using me. They're totally using me. they think I'm stupid, you know, whatever it may be. But it's like I can tell I'm being used because, you know, it's one of those, oh, cool, well, you want me to, and they're telling me to make videos, but again, like, oh, I'm gonna, you know, don't tell anybody I told you this, but you got to get this out there, got to get this. And I'm like, all right, cool, hey, will you share my shit, share my music? Oh, yeah, you know, it's like, it's usually, when it's somebody gives a shit, it's a mutual. You didn't get it, it was sitting right there. Sitting right on the debit player like it has been. Huh? You're what? Why? Good. What's up, Rick the Gentile? How you doing, brother? We're just talking about Ken O'Keefe here. So like I said, I'm putting all these videos out. I'm asking a question, and then all of a sudden, the Ken O'Keefe people. By the way, Rick, if you can share this video onto Facebook, share the link onto Facebook, I would really appreciate it. It's kind of a pain in the ass. Can I use your phone for just a second? Thanks for the support. Appreciate it. So, I'm gonna use my wife's phone to try to boost viewership on here. So oh, sweet. Alright, so I put the videos out, and then Ken O'Keefe's people contact me out of the blue, and they're like, hey man, we really like the song, you know, you're doing great work, we played it for Ken liked it, blah blah blah, and I'm like, oh, I thought this was his page. They're like, no, he doesn't monitor the page, we're all in contact with him. So funny that this page can't tag my other guy page. Wonder why. Hang on, guys. I'll finish the story in a minute. Sorry, guys. Just trying to build the viewers. I gotta fucking post this. Ken's still going strong. Well, okay, so what? Smoking it. What do you think? Well, the Bilderberg group tagged me in something. Alright, so he still tours and speaks live to audiences, huge audiences. So what ended up happening is I'm gonna roll another one in just a second. Okay, I'll go do it now. I was just gonna share that with a couple of people real quick. Sorry. Just trying to get this fixed. Where are my fucking guys at? Sorry guys, I know it's kind of weird looking at my face in here. I'm just trying to make this happen.
Spitting all over the place.
I'm not spitting all over the place. I love how you love to do that. Such a jerk.
Mm-hmm.
You are. It's what it is. Where the fuck is Katie at? That radio show you went on was really cool. Yeah, the Truth Frequency radio, that was great. They haven't talked to me since though. I think I made them mad because
What did you do?
Because that guy was being a douchebag and I didn't let it happen. They had another guest on and that other guest thought he was gonna out-talk me and call me stupid and all this other stuff. And, well, it is what it is. Just another radio show that doesn't like me anymore because I stepped out of line, I guess. I don't really know. I'm sick of it. It's a strange feeling to always be in such a weird, you know, like I don't do this for the weak, I guess. I don't do this for anybody that may have a, you know, may get their feelings hurt real easily or whatever. This isn't the right place for you. What the fucker? But anyway, alright, so fuck it, we'll just jump over to Ken. So I start putting out the videos and Ken, they say, alright, well, they like my song, right? So they post it on their page, at the top of their page, you know, and in doing so, the song gets 1,000 views in really short time frame. But see, this is back when, you know, I make a song and I post it, and by the time he posted it, it had already had like 7,000 views. Like back, it's hard to believe this unless you've been here for a while. But back when I used to post shit, it used to blow. Like it used to fucking, if I posted a new song, there'd be no doubt, I would be disappointed if it did anything less than 1,000 views in the first 24 hours. I'd be very disappointed. Like everything we used to post used to just pop. But this video this is one of our better ones, I think. The Samson option is awesome. And it's one of those ones that carefully talks about things you're not allowed to talk about. And it literally says that in the song, you know, question those you're not supposed to question. You're not allowed to question. So I put they do that, and when they do that, like I've always said this, the best way to get at me is to stroke my ego. Because I'm doing, you know, doing this to get the voice out there, to, you know, so you know, what you're not supposed to do is rock the boat. When somebody, you know, especially if somebody quote unquote helps you, like shares your shit or whatever. Like, seriously, I'm so... My situation would probably be a lot different if I still had my song sitting at the top of the Ken O'Keefe page. Like, I would probably be a lot closer to the circle, too, if I just played along. But I'm not good at just playing along. And that's really what happened with this. So, that... You know, they post my shit, I get all excited, and I shut up. You know, I'm like, sweet, you know, obviously Ken likes it, they say Ken likes it, and this and that. So then I you know, a couple days goes by, and I realize, wait a minute. I still haven't heard from Ken. And I know I'm nothing, but, you know, he supposedly liked my song, and you know, more than anything, I'm just concerned. I'm concerned because I still think, you know, the system we're up against is a really bad system. They're evil, so to speak. They'll go to whatever fucking lengths necessary. And so I kind of put 2 and 2 together, and I'm like, wait a minute. They know that, but, you know, they did what they needed to shut me up, which is stroke my ego. So I
appeared to misspeak when referring to President Trump as the commander-in-chief. Take a look.
And the problem with the President of the United States and the Commander-in-Chief
So like I said, I'm it's 100% concerned. Like, this is why I'm concerned. I'm like, you know, where is our fellow warrior here? So I reached back out like, wait a minute, you know, as much as I appreciate this, where is he? Because he's still gone. And I start making more videos, and I still have Max Egan in my ear. Look at the sky, you guys. Look at that shit. I still have Max Egan in my ear, Samantha Bachman in my ear, both telling me shit. So I go right back into it. Like, wait a minute, and I actually talk about this. You know, I'm not one that shies away from conversation in any regard. So I'm talking about how it's weird that they ignored me until I started making enough noise. Then they dig my shit. But Ked's still busy. Where's Ked? You know, and then you know, you got Max Egan and all this information coming out about Ken, and I'm putting it out there like, hey, so, you know, I'm respecting their wishes at first, saying, look, I'm hearing all this stuff about Ken O'Keefe that I'm hoping isn't true. God, I hope this isn't true, you know? And and I'm putting these out there because I'm hoping Ken will come out and let us know that it's not true. Like, that was my goal in making these videos. And then the stuff about the, you know, taking the money and running starts happening, coming out, and everybody's talking all this negativity, and I just keep posting the videos, and, you know, what's going on, Ken? Please, you're the man. Please don't let this be true. Please, you know, come out, tell us, you know, tell us what's going on. Please just come out and deny this. That's what we want you to do. We want you to deny what's happening. And the idea that you're just missing furthers it, you know? And one of the big things that points that I was making in the video yesterday, because you always hear people saying shit like, hey man, the recycling guy came by and did the same shit, and a couple of things fell out, and he just drove off. Thanks a lot for picking that up, man. I appreciate that. The recycling guy came, you know, he just got out the truck and picked up the shit that fell on the floor, on the ground. And the recycling guy did the same thing, but fucking the shit was all over the ground. He laughed. So I told him, thank you for picking it up. So, all of a sudden it's like a switch flips. All of a sudden I start getting attacked. All of a sudden I'm the bad guy. I got the Kennonites, as I come to call them. The Kennonites coming out of the woodwork telling me what an asshole I am, and that, you know, I don't have any right to be saying these things or asking these questions and all this shit. And I'm like, what the fuck are you talking about? I'm concerned about our fellow brother. Look at this. Holy shit. I'm concerned about his whereabouts, about his safety, his health. Like, do you know the machine we're up against, they will replace people like Melania Trump right now, where the fuck she is. But they will just replace people, you know? I'm nervous about this. And again, I'm concerned about his whereabouts, about his health, about his life. If I ever just go missing one day, I would hope to God you guys would look for me, you know? I would hope that I hope that there's people on Facebook wondering where the fuck I am right now. I hope. But the point I was making with Ken was like, dude, look, you've done everything you could to get to the point where Guy Williams knows who you are. Because Guy Williams is at the bottom of the fucking barrel. You know, I may be a step above my grandfather or the average person who's got their head in the sand, but that's about it. I'm just a step above. I'm not the guy out there scouring the net for the latest, newest information and all that. By the time information gets to me, it's gotten to the common man. You know, everybody knows it. It's easily accessible. So by the time I found Ken O'Keefe, man, everybody, you know, Ken O'Keefe already has, the videos already have hundreds of thousands of views. You know, I'm at the bottom of the barrel. So the whole point in anything, for me, is to get to the point where the average person down the street knows who I am and knows what I'm about and you know, talks about the issues that I talk about. So like with Ken, it's like, dude, you got to that point. You got to the point where not only are you in my world, but you're in a lot of people's world. Lots of people have given you money at this point. You know, there was the World Citizen Project, and you know, there's all these things that you've accomplished that someone like me could only dream of accomplishing. You're where I want to be. And the last thing I would ever do is just abandon my constituency, you know? Oh, I'm just gonna go on vacation and not tell you guys. I'm just gonna walk the fuck away for no reason. And then I walk away and like, you know, it doesn't really come out this way, but Ken had a wife and a child at home. A son, a 12-year-old son or some shit like that. That out of the blue, he just bails. He grabs all this $100,000+ for the World Citizen Project. He's got this Cambodian-looking, Hawaiian-looking chick, young 20-something, and they just go. They go to buy a piece of property or whatever, and they're one of our friends said that he stayed at at a rental property that she was at. In not Peru, but somewhere around there. But he took the money and ran, and that's what the narrative appeared to show, and that's what I kept kind of talking about. Is like, Ken, this is what's being said about you, this is what's being shown about you. At least the part where you ran off. Nobody. Again, it's weird how nobody was really harping on the fact that he left his wife and child, just left them, abandoned them. But, you know, this is what we're hearing. Please come out, refute this stuff. You know, tell us it's not true. And if all of these things, like if I had gotten to the point where I'm this person of Ken's stature, and all these rumors are out about me, I'm going to do everything I can to squash that shit. Especially when my entire existence is online. You know, the battle is online, whatever. I'm online, so I would say something. So the idea that he just leaves and disappears, it's just so weird. And all of it perpetuates the rumor. So as of yesterday, it must have been the day before, that I finally got an actual response from Ken. Because like I say, prior to that, I had just been pounced on. You know, you know, so then this person that apparently is Ken, or at least does a really good Ken impression, leaves me this giant paragraph tirade about, you know, the things I've done in the past should absolve me of being questioned. And now you don't have the right to question me, or you do, but it doesn't matter. And like all this weird shit. And like, it was like somebody heard him speak a bunch of times. So they tried to mimic his speech and use like his catchphrases. Like, and you could take that to the bank. Like something somebody says as opposed to something somebody types is different. But it seemed like somebody, you know, was trying to reinforce that they were Ken, so they would use these little Ken snippets, I guess. So this whole thing happens, and it's like, and I'm like, whoa, man, again, you know, my response to him was like, hey, man, I don't understand why you're attacking me, but if you know, all I care about is your safety, and I was hoping that you would refute some of these things that are said about you, because I'm a supporter. I'm 100% believer in what you're doing and everything like that. At least I was. And then I start looking into Ken, because Max actually tells me to look into his whole background, look into the whole thing. And when you look into the original story, there's the famous video of Ken being interviewed with blood all over his face. Like, you know how wrestlers would poke their head because your head bleeds really bad? Well, he's getting interviewed, I guess, just after a rescue or whatever, and he's got blood just all over his face. Like, he couldn't have been bothered to wipe the blood off. But Ken was apparently a part of this crew that had a ship, had a group of boats, and they were bringing aid to the Gaza Strip, because Israel had, you know, cut all this shit off, cut all the ties off, you know, done all these bad things. Obviously, Israel's a nightmare. And his group apparently was gonna, you know, bring all these supplies in. They collected all this money and, you know, bring all these supplies in. Well, apparently his boats were taken over by Mossad agents. They boarded the ships. They killed everybody but two people, Ken and somebody else. They took them for hostage, and then they let them go. You know, because that's what Mossad's known to do, is to take people hostage, let them go, only so they could become a very outspoken Ken O'Keefe. It just seems extremely coincidental. And then you start really looking at it and you go, okay, well, let's think about it. How many truthers out there actually say the things Ken says? Talks about the truth on that high a level. Goes after the chosen the way that Ken does. None. None. So what my thought is that they had to bring in somebody. Because at some point, the truther community is going to go, hey, why don't we have anybody saying these things? And they gave us a Ken O'Keefe. And then, after that, Ken O'Keefe just disappears. Literally. He just falls out of conversation. As soon as I stop talking about it, and I go, you know what? Fuck this thing. I'm done. I'm letting it go. It disappears. And for roughly 2 years, up until this year, like January or February this year, he'd been missing. He'd been gone. He'd been completely gone. And then all of a sudden, one day, he just shows up on RTV, and he's one of the panelists up there, and he's getting interviewed, and nothing is wrong. Nothing's changed. He's a little bit older, but that's about it. Nobody's bringing any of it up, and I guess now he's out doing his features and all that shit again. Instagram would be better platform for live videos if Facebook booted you off. It lets others join on camera like Facebook. Have to check it out. I just don't want to build up another fucking page. Do you understand how hard it is to build up the pages? And I don't necessarily, you know, I like having somebody on, but that's not a necessity for me. 10 people got killed in that boat, all by Israel. Yeah, 10 out of the 12 people. They let 2 people go, and one of those persons happens to be the leader, and then the most outspoken Ken O'Keefe person in the world, who then hasn't been murdered. You know, that it's just strange. It's strange. And as soon as the Ken O'Keefe situation died down, the Amanda Danielle situation picked up. But what's funny is, right now is when I could be re-exposing all of this stuff. Because I could be re-sharing everything on my page. On this day, this happened. On this day, this happened. But I can't. And I couldn't last year either. And last year when I got blocked during this time, it was strange. I couldn't figure out why. It was one of those things where I didn't do anything, but they said I did. I think it has a lot to do with this, because Ken O'Keefe is a very, very powerful weapon when you think about it. Very. There are so many people that, I guess I should probably do one more. Oh, God damn it. There are so many people that think what he says is gospel. And that's, you know, I was on the border of being one of those people. Like, I really fucking thought he was on point. And he's not. He's a show. Just like Amanda Danielle, a Madison Star Moon. MSM. Mainstream Media. Madison Star Moon. That's why that doesn't phonetically sound right to you. Because Madison Star Moon is something... Why would you fucking... But if you... Like, well, we need you to pick something to go with these 3 letters. Oh, okay. But the thing is, like I say all the time, I love to talk about things from my personal, like I have a personal stake in this situation. So I'm telling you my Ken O'Keefe story. I can tell you my Amanda Danielle story. It's not that I heard it from somebody, or, you know, I'm selling you Porky Pies or anything like that. It's that it's the real fucking story that I lived through. And I think that makes a big difference. That's why I stick to the subjects that I do a lot of times, is because they're a personal thing. By the way, if you're watching this video, please do me a quick favor and just share it on Facebook. Share it, to copy the link and share it in just a couple of places, couple of groups or something. Because this is bullshit. I shouldn't be on YouTube. I shouldn't be forced into being on YouTube because of... I don't know why. They won't even tell me what I did wrong. And to me, it's pretty fucking obvious. I'm gonna adopt the moniker. I'm the most hated man on Facebook, the most dangerous man on Facebook. The most dangerous man on Facebook. As far as Facebook's concerned. But this is crazy. This shit is just crazy. You know, the title of my video is where is Melania Trump is still missing. She was supposed to appear yesterday. She was supposed to do a public thing. Did that happen? How did that go? I want to hear what she had to say. Maggie Sif. Yeah, that's real. Sifberg. And just like any other thing, I'd love for people to tell me how I'm wrong. All you Canaanites out there, where are you? I know there's a ton of people that still hang on every fucking word that guy says. Tell me what I'm wrong about. Tell me about how your not personal experience with him trumps my personal experience with him. How many Amanda Danielle supporters are there out there? Are there out there? Because if you are, you're duped. You've been duped, and you just haven't fucking. You just haven't crossed her yet. You ask her a question that she can't answer. Or doesn't want to answer, I guess. It's wild. But she has a huge page. Her shit blows mine out of the fucking water. Like right now, how come I can't get higher than 3 people? And now it's back down to 1? At the exact same time, 2 people were like, fuck this guy. America are going to put troops on the ground in Syria before the end of the month. Another Syrian false flag within the next few weeks. Wouldn't surprise me. I mean, like, how about this? This is, if you don't think it's bullshit, if you don't think it's all fake bullshit, we had Rudy Giuliani on TV the other day, sweetheart. We had Rudy Giuliani on TV last night talking about, well, we got Kim Jong-un's nuclear capabilities. We've got him on his hands and knees, just the way he's supposed to be. Just the way that the comment that Rudy Giuliani made about how they're on their hands and knees, like bent over or something like that, and that's exactly how they're supposed. They need to accept that that's how they're supposed to be. Some shit like that. Does anybody think that the North Korean government people, whatever, they're going to be like, oh yeah, that's going to sit well?
Hi, Mama.
Do you think that wasn't a purposefully inflammatory statement? If you think that that's going to go over well, again, you probably think Amanda Danielle's the real deal. You probably still buy Ken O'Keefe's nonsense. Strange. You know, it's funny. Like Ken O'Keefe is a great source of information. Amanda Danielle, she makes great chemtrail videos. Don't give those fucking people money. Give them the same fucking scrutiny that you give anybody else. Don't just give anybody. Me too. Give me the same scrutiny that you give anybody else. More so, because I'm trying to fucking shatter your mold. So if that's the case, then definitely prove me wrong before you go jumping on any sort of bandwagon. And it's gone. And now the stripes begin. Just a coincidence, I'm sure. Whatever that fucking wave thing was above us, well, that's been removed, and now we have clear sky, clearish, hazy skies and chemtrail streaks. Oh, shit, there's another one. Big X just appeared. Okay, so I was just standing right here, and I sure as shit did not see that other one there. Did that just appear before my eyes? What the fuck just happened? Did I just not see it? Is that what happened? I'm really confused. Ken can redeem himself if he follows through with the one world citizen. Really? Really? That's how sick we are. That's how desperate we are for, that, like I said, that's the whole reason why, like, Barack Obama was successful, or Hillary Clinton is a champion for the gay people. They're so desperate for a leader, for somebody saying the right things, for somebody that appears to be on their side, that they'll overlook all of his past transgressions, her past crimes, like with the gay thing. Gay people will overlook all of the shit Hillary Clinton said in the past because to win her campaign this year, or last time, she was like, well, I guess I'll let gay people get married, I guess. So they think that like the gays champion Hillary Clinton, champion her, like she's this superstar, like she's all about gay people, because she's a fucking dyke, there's no doubt about it. There's no way you can't tell me Hillary Clinton's not gay. And I have no issue with her being gay. I wish she would come out and be openly gay and just, you know, it would be okay. Like, it's good. You're a hero. You're a champion, you know. But the idea that Ken can redeem himself after stealing well over $100,000 from us. From the people for the second time. Because he's done it before. It's just not as well known. But Ken stole a bunch of money before. That's what Max was showing me. There is no one world citizen thing. It's a shill project. He's not real. Ken O'Keefe is a military man. Come on now. Please, people, please do not fall for it. There are other options. And not just me. I personally, I think I'm the best at this. But if there are other people out there, much more popular people, much whatever, that you could follow. Anything other than that. The list of leaders is very small. We don't need a leader per se. We need a group of us. We need a conglomerate that has everybody's best interest in mind and doesn't get paid more or whatever, doesn't get more for being the conglomerate. There's no benefit to being the conglomerate other than you are part of it. And everybody's like, oh, thank you. I appreciate you doing the work. There's no like monetary or anything. You get no benefit for it. You just get that personal benefit of knowing that you're on the right side. Until we get shit like that, this all continues. But there's plenty of us out there. There's plenty of us out there. There's the guys out there like me that they don't want to get out there. Why is Ken O'Keefe, with everything Ken says about the Chosen openly, using all the correct terminology and everything, why are Ken O'Keefe's pages allowed to exist and Guy Williams is fucking shut down every chance, you know, on both levels? Who is the most hated man? Who's the most dangerous man on Facebook in that regard? Or at least as far as Facebook's concerned. Facebook doesn't seem to shut Ken down. Facebook doesn't censor his videos. You know? YouTube sure doesn't. So why do they do that with me? What's the difference? Look at those lines. Does it pick it up? Is it picking up that there's lines there? And then there's lines there. They go different directions. There's two different frequencies being split by this chemtrail. Perfect square. You see it? Rectangle, whatever. You know, I promise you we're better than this. I promise you we're better than what we have to choose from. You know, Ken O'Keefe is like, it's like electing, you know, well, you have choice because you could pick from Hillary Clinton or Donald Trump. Like, it's the same sort of thing. Just because there's nobody out there big and popular saying all the right things like that doesn't mean you got to go with the one guy that does. Without question. Again, the fact that nobody questions the idea that Ken is a fucking military guy. It's all about empathy. Everything is all about empathy. Brendan O'Connell. No, I don't follow anybody anymore. There's nobody out there that... I follow me. I'm on the right path. And And I'm not saying I'm the only one that you should listen to or anything like that. Believe me. I'm just saying I know I'm on the right path. Until somebody can come in here and make me look stupid about something, I'm going to continue to think that way. But I'm telling you, we're better than this. We really are. You know, again, it's all about empathy. And that's not just on the good side. You have to look at it on the bad side as well. If you were the bad guys, how would you do it? How would you infiltrate these truther movements? You know, what would you do? Because that's what they do. I mean, it's always been talked about. All the Black Panther shit, all the fucking anti-anything. There was always CIA or FBI agents hidden in throughout the crowds. The same thing here, you know. Controlled opposition is the best weapon they have. Because they could give us a list of conspiracies that are real, that we could all talk about, that are real, that are detrimental, that are this and that. And all of those conspiracies would be good to fix. But unless we are going after the head of the monster, all of those little tentacles, you chop one off, there's still going to be a bunch more. He got put in jail for arguing with a Chosen over the Talmud. They locked him up for hate speech in Australia. That's crazy. But see, that sort of reminds me of the Tommy Robinson thing. Like, I hear stories like that, and it seems like it more fits an agenda than anything else. You know, because it doesn't seem real. You know, the idea that really happens and there's no fuckery going on, that doesn't seem real. What it does do is it pushes that idea that don't you talk about this because this could happen to you. You know, all they need is one or two of those examples to shut people up. They already have people programmed to not talk about it anyway. They're programmed that if you say a word, you know, then you're you know. I'm very cautious on what I'm saying right now because I don't want to get in trouble for saying a word that then gets misconstrued or whatever. Like, they refer to themselves as, it's like saying black people. If I said black people, it's like getting mad over that, you know? When they refer to themselves that way, it's okay, but when we say that word, it's a bad word. But it's that same sort of idea that I just can't... if you're not doing anything wrong, why do you hide your accomplishments? Like, if we said black people controlled the media, black people controlled the government, black people were the ones that were in charge of things, do you think black people would be like, oh, no, that's crazy, don't say that, that's terrible, don't say that, that's racist, don't say that, that's a bad thing to say? Like, that's a good thing. If you control how, especially if you're a small portion of the population. Black people are 13% of the population. But if you were a smaller percentage, say 2% of the population, and you controlled all of Hollywood, 96% of the media that we see was owned by you or a version of you, how come that's not something you champion? Look what we have accomplished. Unless you're doing bad shit. If there's secretly bad shit afoot, well, then I understand why you hide behind, you know, you hide the true ownership, the true string pullers. But if you're not really doing anything bad, why wouldn't you stand up and be like, hell yeah, that's us, we do that, yay, we control everything, we're so smart, we're smarter than you. But it's that Tommy Robinson thing when you go, okay, so what seems more likely? That the official thing that we all know, that that this guy was just put in jail for, he got arrested on a Friday afternoon, morning, whatever. 3 hours later, he was sentenced and in jail for 13 months on a Friday. Like, that just, does that seem like it's real? Or you go, he happened to be supposedly filming these Muslim trials, these Muslim pedophile trials, and the hidden agenda, the idea of pushing the Muslim pedophile grooming cult, whatever nonsense, that's all I've heard since, is that there is a Muslim grooming cult going through the UK trying to breed white people out. Like, that conversation goes hand in hand when you start talking. What happened with Tommy Robinson? Oh, well, he's this guy trying to expose the pedophilia of these Muslim cult grooming. It's like they just go right into it. And you go, whoa, does that really make sense? That he would get thrown in jail and all that for standing outside a place with his cell phone? Or is it that something like that, especially now that he got arrested, like Guy Williams in the United States hadn't heard anything about these silly trials. Now that this has happened, not only have I heard about the trial, but I've heard about this grooming cult and bad Muslims, yeah. And you can easily see how it pushes that anti-Muslim, anti-brown agenda. Tommy's real name is Christopher Jackson Lennon. He's been a Zionist from day one. But see, what's funny about that, Rick, is, so the day it happened, so it happened on a Friday in the UK, which means it was Saturday morning when I woke up, and I got bombarded. Well, I got bombarded, but I had two of my friends, one Michael Lee and another one Cam Maida. First thing in the morning, they're the ones, you know, I wake up and my inbox has messages from both of those guys. Hey, dude, check this out, blah, blah, blah. Told you Muslims are blah, blah, you know. And Cam's a guy that, all right, so the weird story behind Cam is that I noticed Cam, I'm pretty sure Cam came from a troll page. I'm not sure, but I think he did. Supposedly Cam's in Australia. And it's weird, because now that I think about it, people kept saying how fake his accent sounded. And he would always be filming in a room where it was just inside a room and you couldn't tell what time of day it was or anything like that. Strange, putting two and two together. Anyway, so Cam was a guy who had been on my live feed for a couple weeks at least. And when I had the big exodus happen where I had Jillian and the Terry Dallas, Brian Wallace profile, whatever that person is, it's like 3 or 4 profiles with him, probably more. Him and like a week prior to or 2 weeks prior to, I had David Marks. I mean, again, you start looking at these things and it's like, maybe. These were supposedly huge supporters of mine that flipped. Just all of a sudden sort of flipped. One of which was the most surprising was Jillian, who one day just came on and was telling me that the couch thing isn't bad and the Kekistan thing, they're just trolls just having fun and it's not a big deal, it's no pedophilia, blah. It's like, what the fuck are you talking about? You joined their movement? Well, we shouldn't probably be friends. And she was like, yeah, fine. It was just this weird thing. So those 3 people left. And when those 3 people left, it was a huge hit to my view count because especially Brian Wallace was really good about sharing the link, sharing the view or the video. So I took a huge hit. But for me, it's all about the integrity and the consistency of what we're doing here. And if I'm not going to just keep somebody for numbers if they suck. So Cam sort of appeared, I'm pretty sure around that time, and there's a guy called Michael J. Murphy, who is the guy that made the What in the World and the Why in the World are they spraying videos. And he's gone off the deep end. Like, there's something wrong in his world. Either his mental state is just fucking in array, in shambles. And as his brethren, we should be reaching out to support him and help him and all that. Whereas if you go to his page, you see that there is like a group of trolls that every single thing he posts, they jump on and they encourage people to stay away from him. He's a crackhead and all this shit. Well, I had noticed, I went on and I noticed that Cam was actually one of those guys. Though not as bad as everybody else, he seemingly did care. Like, he kept saying, like, and he got a hold of me outside of it, and he's like, no, dude, you got to be careful with Michael J. Why didn't you step on the roaches?
No.
Yeah, you were.
No,
Yes, you were.
It'd be flat if I was.
Yes, you were.
It was right next to it.
It's okay. It's not a big deal. It was like, he was one of those, but you know, he said, he got a hold of me like, man, you just got to be careful, you know, I've tried, I know his family, he said, you know, I've reached out, I've tried to help the guy, but he's a crackhead, he's a meth head, and blah, 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 blah. So he got the pass because he seemed like a decent, real person, so kinda, you know. So then Cam starts frequenting my page, and Cam's literally like replaces Brian Wallace in that he's gonna be the new big share guy, and he's like one of the best sharers ever. Like, he really does share it. He, you know, at first he shares it a couple hundred times or so. I mean, you know, at first he sort of runs into the same thing as I did, like I was talking about earlier, that when he first started doing it, he could share a bunch, and then all of a sudden one day he just gets the hammer thrown at him. Hey, you can't share this, and he's all surprised and whatever. But I had him come on, you know, at least once or twice, 2 or 3 times maybe. And he seemed like a decent guy. We would talk about things, yet I would constantly catch him. Like, you know, like he would be like, oh, well, you know, if Trump does this, don't you think the Democrats will have a lot to say? You know, it'll give the Democrats a lot of fucking fodder or some just crazy shit. Like, dude, what do you mean Republicans and Democrats? Like, one, you're in Australia, so what do you seem to know a lot about American politics for an Australian. But two, there are no Republicans and Democrats. Why do we, you know, if we're going to say it's all a fake thing, why do we fall for it on certain levels? And that shit kept happening. Well, then that day that Tommy Robinson got arrested, Cam was right on there. Like, you know, he was sending me messages, and then the next day he was like, when I went live, he jumped on right away, and he was like, yeah, man, you know, this is the real thing. Look at what's happening, and like he goes right into the Tommy Robinson got arrested, and he's for exposing this Muslim shill. This Muslim grooming cult, like he goes right into and I'm like, whoa, man, like I didn't buy it right off the bat. I'm the only person I knew that didn't buy it right off the bat. But, you know, first, like that was my first question was, wait, you're telling me he got arrested on a Friday and he got arraigned? If anything, you get arrested on Friday, you're in jail till Monday. Ask anybody that's ever been arrested, and they'll tell you the worst day to get arrested is Friday.
Somebody just made a comment saying Melania just appeared with President Trump at FEMA headquarters for a brief at hurricane season. like just now.
Okay, but did she speak?
I don't know. He didn't say.
What was I saying? God, I hate that. Basically, I don't know. Oh, so yeah, so right away I'm like the arraignment times and all that just don't seem right. And Cam got mad. Cam was like, dude, no, you gotta push this, you gotta share this, you gotta push this shit. And I'm like, no, I don't. I have to question it like I would anything else. And there's some shit that just doesn't seem right about this. First of all, the whole concept is goofy, that he got arrested just for standing there. Like, if that happened, that would be a huge win for the truth. Like, that was my... So if they arrested him for nothing like that, they just made that guy rich, basically. Because any good lawyer is going to be able to say his rights were violated, especially if he got put in jail for 13 months. Now, I've never heard of that kind of sentence. What's a 13-month sentence? That seems like some weird Illuminati type of shit where they like to put their numbers out there so you can fucking... So those who know. I figured out if you share 2 or 3 posts into a group rather than just one, it's less likely to get flagged as spam. Well, that's what I've been telling people. Don't share more than 5. Because if you share more than 5... But see, what's funny is, like, this is the weird shit that most people call you crazy for, but this is my reality, is that my video will get shared 150 times, but all of those shares will then become ghost posts or whatever, where it appears to someone like me or to the person that posted it that the post exists. But to everybody else, the post doesn't even exist. And the way you know that is because there's no negativity. Like, if my shit was really as open as everybody else's is, there would be all these fucking idiots that come out and talk a bunch of shit. I'll get the occasional idiot, but not really. He was already on a suspended sentence for contempt of court. He was recording in a courtroom. See, the story I got was that he was out, yeah, he had that suspended shit, but he was standing, like, on so the property of the court is right where this line is, and he was standing on this side of it recording. That's the story I got. Either way, I look at it like this. Look, if they came up to me, Guy Williams, and said, Guy, we'll give you the life. We'll give you what you want, you know? We'll make sure you get the record contract. And in reality, all we have to do is go through with this, and the sheep will just fucking go crazy with it anyway. But we need you to shut up. You know, they give you that one option. You either shut up and take the life we offer you, or you try to make it on your own. And they say, all right, well, what we're going to do is you go film at this place. We'll arrest you. We'll put you in jail for 13 months or however many months or whatever. And by the time you get out, you'll be fucking famous. Plus, you know, we'll give you a bunch of money for it too, or whatever. I'd take it in a heartbeat. I'm telling you guys right now, if they come to me and offer me the deal, I'll take it every fucking day. The day I come out talking about, oh, I was wrong about chemtrails, well, you know they got to me, because I'll take it. I love how the number keeps fluctuating. Again, where are all my people at? There should be quite a few people on here. I hate this starting over bullshit. It's crazy. If you're watching this video, man, share it in a group or 2. You can't share this in more than 2 groups. Morning, Marnie. I was just going to say, where's Marnie? That's so funny. You can't share this link into any more than 1 or 2 groups because you will get fucking Especially if you're sharing a link to something outside of Facebook, it'll definitely get marked as spam, so be careful. It's so funny, too, to think that you guys are hearing me as I'm saying it. There's no delay on this. I'm so used to there being the 25, 28 second delay. It's really strange. I appreciate you sharing it on anywhere, Rick. Appreciate it. Wherever you can share it. It's crazy how much they fucking, you know. Like, to me, that should be the fire. That should be the fuel for the fire. Is mom and dad, Facebook is telling you no. We don't want you to see this movie. See the Guy Williams movie. And you're like, but I want to see the movie. And they're like, no, it's bad for you. It's bad for you. You can't. It'll give you bad ideas. That should be the thing. As soon as you figure out how much censorship goes behind keeping me quiet, that should be enough to make everybody go, holy shit, this guy must be right. I must be right about something. With all the truthers out there spitting out similar shit that have a completely free reign, or at least they're kind of censored. You know, with Alex Joneses out there and all these people out there that don't run into the same problems I do, what's the difference? What is it about me that has me in the doghouse? It must be because I'm right. And all those other truthers, the one thing about me compared to the other truthers is I don't share a lot of their, like, we're similar, but when it comes to some other things, I have my very own viewpoints on those things. A lot of truthers are still wrapped up in your Jesus nonsense. Nobody's talking about the Earth as a TV show. You know, nobody's talking about where's Melania Trump. None of the truthers give a shit. They've been brainwashed into thinking that, oh, anybody is fire. Fire bad. Anybody on the other side is fire. Some of my friends listen to you. Is it okay to post on my profile? Why would you ask me? Of course it is. I'm begging you to. Please share this video everywhere you can. You never have to ask to share my shit. You guys should be sharing this. You should be sharing the music. Anything to bring attention to the things we're talking about. That's what it's all about. It's not about me. I don't give a shit. It's not about my fucking ego. I'm way inflated on fucking unnaturally, unwarranted inflated ego. So we don't have to worry about this being about, you know, me patting myself on the back. It's that I already know I'm right. I'm trying to help people understand. I'm the most dangerous man on Facebook. I didn't want to be, but apparently that's the way it is. So I'm going to run with it. Fuck it. Facebook is scared to death of me. Scared. And it's strange. I mean, again, you go out there, go find you a KKK page. I bet you can. I bet you can find lots of racist shit out there, lots of sexist shit out there, lots of porn out there, lots of all kinds of shit out there. But not Guy Williams. Because Guy Williams is bad. It makes no sense. It does make sense. It makes total sense. It makes no sense if you believe the official story is what it is. If you believe what you're supposed to believe, my situation makes no sense. If you sprinkle it with some conspiracy, then everything looks so clear to me. It's just, it's easy. As soon as you say, well, maybe he's right, and the government is terrified of that, then everything makes total sense. And it's weird, because believe me, it's weird for me to say it. It's not something I run around, I'm not running around patting myself on the back and all that. It's weird to think that way. Like, when you think about it on the truest levels, when you think, okay, this dumbass with his goofy hair and all that shit, The highest levels, he has the most censorship you've ever seen on Facebook. I have the most censorship you've ever seen. Well, if that's the case, you know, that's a big deal, don't you think? Like, what does that imply? That implies that the highest levels of government, because unless you're an idiot, you know that Facebook is a government, CIA, FBI, wet dream, you know, to the nth degree. So the highest levels of this, well beyond silly algorithms and shit like that. My page obviously has the personal touch. Like, that's a pretty scary implication if you think about it. Ken O'Keefe's page is allowed to exist, and he openly challenges the chosen. Openly! Yet my page isn't? Why? Why? I'm not encouraging violence. I'm very much fucking, you know, rights for everybody, equal rights for women, gays, people of color, everything. White people. No, I'm all about equality and better life and that we as society are better than what we're given and what we achieve. We're better than this. Why am I stifled? What did I do wrong? That don't make no sense. It don't make no sense as long as you don't add the little tiny element of conspiracy. As soon as you add that tiny little piece, everything makes total sense. It just makes total sense. Other than that, how do you explain the insane, the most censorship you've ever seen on Facebook? For some dumbass that only reaches 5 people. Well, why do I only reach 5 people? Do you think that maybe that's this censorship is the fact that I can only seem to reach 5 people? I go live on my band page. My band page has 5,000 following. I go live and there's 5 to 8 to maybe 10 if we're lucky people on there. How? Just the number, as the math alone does not make sense. Just simple math doesn't make any sense. I mean, that so many other people are doing it. Right, the ADL controls hate speech on social media. Well, like I say, I mean, I'm not doing hate speech. There's no hate speech coming out of me. Like, if anything, I think it's all part of the equality. Equality, man. We should be able to talk about everybody equally. It's not fair that I talk about Christians or I talk about Muslims or whatever and leave them out. That's not fair. They're as much a part of this as anybody else. I had to change my password to get on here today. What? How? Okay, and again, how do you then explain all the weird shit that all of you guys go through? The inability to watch my shit, getting kicked out left and right, having to change your shit. Like the weird shit that doesn't happen on anybody else's pages. If it happened all the time and happened everywhere, then yeah, that would make sense. But since that's not the case, how do you explain it? Michael Lee, how you doing? Can't believe you have to come to YouTube because they have shut you down. Well, you're here. You better believe it. Once you're proven right, the whole story is different. It's a whole different story. It's just weird. It's weird is what it is. And again, if you're watching this, guys, copy and paste the link just 1 or 2 times. Don't do it any more than that because you'll get yourself blocked. Mark, what's going on, brother? And see what we're doing. Why it's important for you guys to share the link is not just to get the people here. It's to show them, to show they, you know, to show them that, hey, fuck you. You're not going to silence us. Like I say on all of my videos in the header, don't let them silence us. Same shit. Show them that fuck you. You silenced him on Facebook. Well, look, he's on YouTube and we're gonna support him. Because my voice is our voice. You know, a lot of you don't have it in you to stand here and do what I do. Maybe you're at work. Maybe what I do is difficult. You go ahead and try it. You think it's not, go ahead and try it. You stand here and talk to a fucking cell phone for hours at a time without and pause, you know. You do that and tell me what's going on. Not to mention read the comments. Remember everybody's shit. All that. When you do that stuff, when you realize what's going on here, and you see how, you know, like how does anybody explain any of it? Other than what I'm saying. If you can give me a better explanation than what I had. That's the congruent theme that runs through everything. If you can explain it better than I can, you win. And I'll switch. From here on out, my argument, the picture I paint will be that much different because of the little brush stroke you showed me. Whatever. And if it's that mind-blowing, I'll give you credit forever for it. The problem is, I don't get it very often. There really isn't that many people on here. You know, I get the occasional person that comes on and tells me how stupid I am, tells me how goofy my hair is, Sideshow Bob, and all that shit. But nobody ever really argues me. You know, and anytime you resort to... Let's run out back real quick. Anytime you resort... Huh? Let's run out back real quick. To do cartwheels and shit. What the fuck you think? Anytime you resort to talking shit about how I look or, you know, anything other than what we are talking about, when you have to resort to those dirty middle school games, you're admitting I win. That's all. I mean, I appreciate it. Thank you. That's what that is for me. When you can't actually argue any of the points I'm making and well, I gotta say something, so I'll just be stupid. All right. Thank you. Beautiful. I just want you to know you're my favorite girl. Look at all of our wonderful food. And we have to weed our garden. But it looks like that because that used to be grass. I think we did pretty good considering this is our first year.
There's a lot of little plants over there too.
Right, but all that little shit needs to be weeded, but I think we did pretty good.
I got like 7 garlic plants, I think.
We're gonna have a lot of fresh garlic. How nice is that?
2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 garlic plants.
Nice.
Yeah. The green peppers are starting to get little balls on them. There's all kinds of little tomatoes.
I'm listening at work. Can't really keep typing. No, I get it. I get it, dude. I appreciate that. I appreciate you guys more than I don't know. If you don't know that I appreciate you, then maybe I'm failing, I guess. But I just appreciate the shit out of you guys. I really do. I think it's so awesome how you guys have, like this. Like I say, the idea that you guys are fighting this fight with me, that you see what's going on, and you know, you're supposed to tell yourself that I'm crazy. You're supposed to tell yourself that I'm just a conspiracy theorist and that this is all just coincidence and there's a logical explanation for all of it. You're supposed to say those things to yourself. Look at all these ants, Jesus.
Yeah.
And the fact that none of you are falling for your programming. And that all of you are saying, no, you know what? Fuck you. I'm not doing that. You're not going to shut us down. That is beautiful. Marnie, you support the truth. It's not me. You know, because if I turn around and I start, you know, telling you guys to fucking drink the Kool-Aid and shit, I would hope to God you wouldn't do it. I hope everybody is beyond blind faith, blind support, blind anything. And if anything I'm saying is bullshit or anything goes like that, I want to be told so. I hope we have that sort of relationship. I hope I provide that here, because that's what I'm going to do to you. I always wonder, though, you say you support people who spread the truth. How do you go from me to somebody else? Like, isn't it weird when you listen to me in the morning or whatever, and then go listen to somebody else talk, and they're pushing Satanism and death, doom, and gloom, and scary, and is it different? I mean, I don't know. Maybe I'm not somebody that's out there doing that. I'm not out there listening to other people try to scare the shit out of us. So is it weird for you to go from me to somebody else, or is it just a normal, whatever, it's not a big deal, it's just, that's what we do. Hang on one sec. We have broccoli. In our house, we love broccoli.
Oh, look at them.
Look at that.
The little guys
Awesome.
down there. So we have 5 broccoli plants. So they're all starting to get their little heads in there.
Head's a good thing. It's always good to get a little head.
And all of them.
I don't listen to that. I have one truther I listen to live. That's me, I guess. Well, right on. Thank you. Like, it's weird too, that whole, like, I have a hard time with all of it. I reject and shy away from any sort of leadership, you know, oh man, you know, it's weird. Like, I know I'm right and all that. It's like I say, my ego is so big that I don't need to be told that you agree with me. Hey, get out of there. It's that I'd rather hear about the things that you don't agree with me on. Because I doubt anybody agrees with me 100%. And it's those little things that I'd like to fine-tune my presentation, so to speak. That if I have something wrong, you see that? Like, I even correct myself. I hate saying got. So I'm trying to correct myself. So if I have something wrong, I would love it if you guys would tell me. It's that little shit. I'm a grammar Nazi to myself. You know, I hold myself to the same, if not higher standards than I hold everybody else to. And I know people think that I'm a dick or whatever. Well, imagine how much of a dick I am to myself. When I'm writing, imagine how, what kind of shit goes through my head when I'm writing. And the perfectionist, sort of mindset I have with that. Do we live in the Truman Show? Yeah, basically. That's what I think, at least. I think it seems pretty obvious we do. And that's in taking all of the information we're supposed to have. You know, that's also taking into religion, taking in science, taking in everything they tell us. Yeah, that seems like the most logical, as crazy as it is, that seems like the most logical explanation. That one seems to make the most sense. And I know that seems crazy, but it just explains the most. And more than anything, like Rudy, okay, so a prime example of exactly what I'm talking about is what just happened with Rudy Giuliani. The idea that a diplomatic situation that has us on the brink of nuclear war, because that's sort of, you know, apparently that's what the reason, what they're pushing now, the story that we're pushing is the reason Trump canceled the summit was North Korea threatened us with nuclear annihilation.
Oh, is that what it was?
Yeah, and they're leaving out the fact that they were responding to something and saying that you're not going to push us around, and if you do, we will fight back and bring our nuclear arsenal. It's so funny how they keep leaving that part of the narrative out. Right. But that's what they're pushing on us now. Is that's the story. And it's just fucking and so then you have Rudy Giuliani coming out saying that, you know, that North Korea needs to be on its hands and knees, where it needs to realize that it needs to be on its hands and knees where it belongs and like it, basically. Somewhere along those lines. And it's like, okay, so you really think that a diplomatic person is out there saying shit like that, inflammatory shit like that? That sounds like some WWE scripted television to me. If you don't think we live in some crazy reality show, you're fucking foolish. I grew up in New York. He's an ass. Yeah, but he's a brilliant. I mean, you have to respect them. You have to respect their tactics and the way that they work. Because it's brilliant. It really is. To bring in Giuliani like that when they needed to. Because as soon as they bring in Giuliani, it stirs up feelings of 9/11 and patriotism and all that. And you have to believe him because...
Came in, and a bunch of people, nobody knew their names. You know? So
right.
Now all of a sudden he brings in a name that everybody knows. We're like, oh, finally somebody we recognize.
Oh, sweet, A-Rod's
somebody
here.
With experience that we can trust.
Right. But it's a combination because, again, that's why Giuliani's so brilliant. It's that to a degree. I hadn't even thought about that. But it's that, and then it's also that nostalgic, patriotic 9/11. You know, Giuliani will forever be associated with 9/11. So if you disagree with anything he says, you're disagreeing with 9/11. You know, so they bring in Giuliani and he's just selling it like he's an actor. Like he's, well, let me tell you something, brother. Let me tell you something, Mean Gene. If North Korea thinks I gotta go upstairs, my battery's gonna die. If North Korea thinks they're gonna come out here and do that, Mean Gene, I'm gonna bring out the Hulkamania nuclear weapon. You know, it's the same fucking thing. And like, if there's any other response than "fuck you, we're going to war" from North Korea, I will be shocked. Shocked. And that's what the news is doing too. They're setting it up. And we're just awaiting the response from North Korea and blah, blah, blah. Yeah, he lied about that. New Yorkers can't stand him. Of course. Nope. I mean, it's bullshit. That's the thing about all this is not only New Yorkers, but everybody's gotten to the point where we're, you know, they're so desperate to try to maintain control that they're doing all these. But the shit that the internet, us, the truthers, we're destroying them. They're losing their fucking minds over what's happening. They'd give anything to get it back to those Nixon days where they could bring in that kind of asshole and he could just, oh, you know, and everybody believes it. Like they're terrified. The administration, the system, the man, the fucking, whatever you want to call it, the establishment is terrified right now. To the point where they are censoring dumb shits like me. What's up there, Robin brother? How you doing, man? What do you think is going to happen in the next election, 2020? I don't care. I wouldn't be surprised if it's Oprah. They'll probably give them another 4 years. They have a lot of work that they're getting done. Eh? And again, if you guys are watching this, do me the quick favor and share it 1 or 2 times. Don't share it a bunch, but share it 1 or 2 times with the header, the most dangerous man on Facebook. That's what we're going to start going with. I am the most dangerous man on Facebook. You know why, brother? Because if they're going to use WWE, brother, so are we, brother. You know what I'm saying? Let's do it. Let's meet them head on. Right? We got to fight, man. We have to fight. and they're winning as of right now. But they're losing their grip. They're losing their steps, man. They're losing their hold. Look at this. Let's see. Are they going to show us the cover page? Hey, bring me up a juice, please. Watermelon. Do it, or I'll smack you when you come up. No, I'd be smacking you, but it's close. Oh. Telling you guys. I've got it right. I have it right. And I'm look, 2017 edition. Why don't you give us a 2018 edition, motherfuckers? I think my secondary page got blocked because I showed an episode of Cops in a video titled "This is Why People Hate Cops." Because it was the most unbelievable episode of Cops I've ever seen. Robin tagged me in a post. Right on, guys. You guys, thank you. Thank you. I don't know how else or what else to say. Like, when the shoe drops, thanks, Robin, and I can help, I will. But as of now, I'm very limited by what I'm allowed. And all I want is the same thing I've been saying now for quite some time. I just want the same opportunity everybody else has. I just want to be able to have the opportunity to make something of myself the same way everybody else does. And I want to be able to use social media the same way everybody else does. Because right now, that going out there and guerrilla fucking, you know, I'm going to go on tour in a van and I'm going to leave my family. That's not an option for me. I'm not leaving my family behind and all that. So this is a much better way of doing it anyway. Because I can just say, hey, I don't want you to, people are always like, why don't you go hit up open mics? Because I'm not trying to do open mic poetry. I'm trying to fucking, the music we create is a thing on its own. It's not like if you had a guitarist, you would say, well, why don't you go to open mic night and just play your guitar? No, man, he's in a band. He wants you to hear his band. I know we're on to something, you know, I feel like we're right there. And it's funny, you know, I don't know, a couple weeks ago, a week ago, whatever, I was saying how close I feel. I feel like we're right there. We're knocking on that door. I just feel it. We're so close. I don't feel it anymore. I feel like they shut it back down and we're back to climbing that fucking hill again. We're right back down to the bottom. They knocked us down. But they're not knocking us out, you guys. That's why it's so important that you guys help. That's why I appreciate the shit out of you so tremendously when you're out there sharing and you're out there risking your own pages for me. For the truth. Not for me, for what you believe in. You know? Like I said, I would hope that you guys don't just share any old monkey fucking a football, you know? I would hope that you guys, you're proud of this, and that's why you share it, because you're proud and you're hoping that anybody that might have anything negative to say comes and says it. This isn't the place where I'm scared of you, and if you have an opinion, keep it to yourself, and that's not this. We need blunts. This is the fight. This is the next generation of war, of revolution, whatever. You know, you have the shills, and the shill is somebody that's doing a job. You have the shills, or you have the people that are the unknowing shills, so to speak. They're just programmed to negatively affect you and drain you and knock you down. And one of the most effective weapons... Did you bring me a juice like I asked you to? Thank you. Did you hear we need blunts?
No.
We need blunts.
Okay.
Do you want me to go get them?
No.
I didn't think so. Good place. Good time to have a smoker. Huh? Nothing. But they no, they try to knock you down, and they say things like, "Whoa, what are you doing? What are you doing? What are you doing? You're not. I know you're not out there fucking out there with picket signs and all that. No, I'm not. That's silly. That's pointless.
You're inside with your picket sign and your
giant picket sign, and that's what you don't see that, like.
And you pick your nose.
The people that are on the top of the fucking chain, top of the ladder, when they see you out there protesting, and they see you out there blocking the road, and they see you out there gathering one way or another, you know what they're doing? They're laughing at you from their helicopters, from their penthouses. They don't give a shit. Those things aren't the real things anymore. They don't serve their purpose anymore. It's 2018. If protesting and picketing and all that worked, it would have worked by now. Well, I think they took down my other page because I posted a video of, and it wasn't a live video. I went old school and I recorded a 4-minute video of, I was watching cops. And instead of going through and titling the video and all that to get it started, I wanted to catch it as quick as I could. So I just hit record on the phone and then uploaded it. And it was an episode of Cops. I'd seen it before. There was maybe a couple years ago or whatever. And I made a video about it when I first saw it. But it was the bad guys, which, you know, is this young white couple, maybe late teens, maybe early 20s, I don't know. But the dude's driving a fucking sports car, red sports car down the street. It's nighttime. He's in Virginia, or so I think it's Virginia. And they're just flying down the road, flying 95, 100 miles an hour down the road. All of a sudden, the cop is far behind. All of a sudden, you see the wreck happen, and the cop pulls up, and the car bursts into flames. And as the cop's rolling up, you see two figures kind of stumbling. Well, both passengers got ejected from the fucking car. They got ejected from a car going 95, 100 miles an hour. The car was completely smashed, like wrapped around this, like just unrecognizable, and it caught fire. They run out, they get out of the car. The girl is just like, oh, they run up, they knock her down. And I didn't get this part. Like, I was late on getting it. But the dude, he's out, he's walking completely out of it. Again, he got thrown from a car going 95 miles an hour. He's all cut up, and she doesn't know what the fuck is going on. And they're like, get down on the ground. And he's like, he's not responding, but he's not like fighting. He's obviously doesn't know what's going on. And they fucking tase him. They tase him twice. They don't like go show him some compassion because he obviously doesn't know what's going on. They tase the shit out of him. They beat him a little bit. Then they go ask the girl. The girl's laying on the ground. Her face is all fustigated. And this is about when I start recording. And they're asking her, hey, what's wrong? Why was you running? And she's like, I don't know. And they're like harassing her about him running. And she's like, I don't know what's going on. And then they interview him, and they're like, why were you running? He's like, I wasn't. And they're like, why were you driving? And he's like, I need to go. I wasn't. And he doesn't know what's going on. They just shocked him, whipped his ass, and all that. And then they're talking about, yeah, he was driving 95 miles an hour. They had both been, and when we came up, he was fighting with us. He swung at me, punched me in the stomach, and it's like, no, he didn't. I was watching. He didn't punch you. He didn't do all that. But I made that little 4-minute video, and I titled it, "This is Why People Hate Cops." And I even said in the video several times, you know, I love cops. I support the boys in blue, this, that, and the other. You know, I'm saying this is an example of why people hate cops. Not all people hate all cops because all cops are dicks. I'm not saying that at all. I'm saying these are the bad cops. This is what people hate about cops. Like oh shit, did you guys see the footage of the black guy getting his ass beat for fucking just standing there? But I posted that, and I think that's what got me in trouble, because all I know is I had suspicious activity on my page. They then give me 4 options to identify myself. None of which is show a picture, the easy one. It's identify my friends, identify comments made, identify it's some fucking ridiculous. So, and it's a 6-step process. So first I have to identify the pictures, and I do that. Then it asks me to remove any comments that I didn't make, any friends that I didn't add, any messages I sent any messages that I didn't send, and then the last thing is the marketplace, any posts that I didn't put in the marketplace. And of all the things, so all the other ones, it shows me a list of posts, and I can check which ones I want to delete. None of the boxes are checked. When it gets to marketplace, all 36 things are checked, or 38 things are checked. So I have to uncheck the ones I don't want marked. I click delete, and it says, "Error, something went wrong, please try again later." That happened yesterday, and that's happened today, and that's as far as it'll let me go. Can't do that here. Number 1, there's not enough to get out there. Number 2, they are not having. I'm getting so sick of the news feed on Facebook. It's the same old crap every day. How many days? I have no idea. I don't know. They didn't tell me anything. But this is what happens. This is what I told you guys was going to happen. I said 2 weeks before my main page got blocked that they were about to block that page for nothing, and that would say it was something stupid like hate speech. I literally said that, and that's what it was. And then the second page, it started going, this feed, or no, my live feed started going well through the Bilderberg page, because of, I wasn't going live through my secondary page. I was going live through the Bilderberg page. And the one day where the video gets 50-some shares and has 2,000 views, the following day is when this happened. And I told you, they're going to make shit up to get rid of me. And I ask, anybody that's not on board with me, anybody that thinks I'm lying or exaggerating, I love the people like Cam said it, yeah, I was on board, but I thought maybe you were exaggerating a little bit. Like, okay, why? Why would I lie? Why would I exaggerate? There's no need. It's fantastic enough as is that there's no need to exaggerate or spruce anything up. My shit is crazy. And I challenge you to tell me what, other than they are fucking with me, what else could it possibly be? You think this is all just glitches because of my network? This is all network glitch, right? This is what you tell yourself, because this is easier to believe than the government is shutting me down. But then again, it's easier to believe that the devil's making you do bad shit than you're just a dumbass, right? Anything is better than taking responsibility. But like I say, not only am I trying, we are trying. Yeah, I guess I have to make moderators on there. But that wouldn't have done anything. Like, that wouldn't have helped at all. It was that I posted that video on my personal page. That, other than me posting links to the new song, that's pretty much one of the only things that I've posted from my other page. I've been really, really careful not to post shit that I thought would get me blocked, because I knew then it would shut me out of Facebook altogether, and I would, you know... Well, I wouldn't be able to go from your account because I can't get into Facebook. What I do wonder is if I'm allowed to piggyback still. I need to go on my regular page and get Double to go live and see if I can go live with them. And okay, if I logged in through your page, but then your page is gonna get blacked out, dude. They have facial recognition software. That's what we're up against now. And they all they've been doing lately is bragging about it. The last thing I want to do is get your page blocked. So if they're looking for reasons, if they're making shit up to block my pages because of my efforts on my Bilderberg page, then they're just gonna do it to your page, and I don't want to do that, dude. You know? That facial recognition's a bitch. It's a bitch. Besides, I only have 14 days left, 13 days left, something like that. 14 days, I think. 2 weeks from today, I'll be able to go back live. So 2 weeks, we'll do YouTube. Fuck them. Or, like I say, I'll try the piggyback thing. Ugh. It's cooking with mussels. Gross. Mussels and salmon. Salmon. Why is it spelled that way? Robin got kicked off the YouTube page. What the fuck? Why are people now getting kicked off of this? That's so fucking weird, man. And again, so is that my network or is that Robin's network? It's not them. That's so fucking weird, man. I saw yesterday Zuckerberg covers his camera on his computer and his mic. Zuckerberg, I don't think Zuckerberg's real. I mean, I don't think he's like a real person. I think he's whatever they're making Melania Trump into. Oh yeah, did you guys see? Did Melania Trump, has she spoken? Wife said she made an appearance.
With Trump at FEMA headquarters.
Let me see your phone. Let's see if we...
I thought I left it here, didn't I?
No.
Mo wouldn't stop smelling the basil. So I gave him a piece. You should have seen him. It was hilarious. He didn't end up.
With duct tape, huh? Who puts tape? You can't put tape on your phone camera. Then it's all sticky and gross. That doesn't make any sense. So gross. Is he about to eat some raw salmon? Ugh. Think about that. Think about that mentality that we eat a bunch. There's so many raw, like, meat is oh yeah, you're supposed to cook it as raw as you can, and tartar and all that shit. Like, think about why do we eat, not only do we eat animals and eat life, but we eat it as bloody, nasty, gross as we can. Why? You ever wonder about that shit? Think about who's in charge of the media and who's in charge of what we see, and we get what we believe from what we see on TV for the most part. And what they tell us on TV, that the only way to eat meat is as raw as you can get it. So who makes that decision? Look up Melania Trump. See if she spoke. They've been parading around the dummy, but I don't think she can speak. I don't think they got the voice down. So, I wanted to see. Well, maybe hit you with my club.
I don't know what you want.
Why are you being so weird right now?
I don't know how.
Melania Trump.
Stupid people playing their damn lotto. What the fuck is wrong with?
Must be a big one.
I need this one this way, this way.
Do I get viewership count here? Yeah, there's 5 people on right now. Trump attacks vicious rumors about Melania.
What are the vicious rumors?
Melania's latest outfit seems to say, "I'm here." Melania makes first public appearance. There's no... Does she say anything?
So put FEMA headquarters, Trump.
Trump news. The Twitter says the fake news has been so unfair and vicious to my wife and our great First Lady, Melania. During her recovery from surgery, they reported everything from her death to facelift to left the White House and me for New York or Virginia to abuse. All fake. She is doing really well. Ha! My song, Fake News. Share it. Share the song, Fake News, guys. I guess I can't leave comments here.
What are you doing now?
Makes first public appearance, but does she speak?
She didn't speak much before. I don't know.
No, there's something going on here. Sharing more. Thank you, my man. I appreciate you, Robin. I want to see this video. I want to look at her more than anything. I want to see what she...
The political thriller of the decade.
Yeah, who gives a fuck? James Patterson. How does James Patterson completely...
He pays for it.
Bravo,
They made
James
enough money
Patterson
with
and
his
Bill
books to
Clinton.
pay for that
Don't
shit.
miss. The president is missing.
The president is missing. He comes out with that book.
Well, and that's the one that plays.
Right.
First time we've seen the First Lady in 26 days. Here she is sitting next to her husband, the president. They are at the FEMA headquarters. Of course, the 2018 hurricane season began June 1. And so this is the briefing from FEMA on hurricane preparedness, and obviously a whole other really important...
Sorry, I know it's boring to watch me watch this,
is,
but...
Hurricane Maria in Puerto Rico, and the latest numbers out of the Harvard study where these researchers found in actuality that there's something like 4,600 deaths as a result of the storm instead of the death toll sitting at 64. So that is hovering over this briefing, but what's significant too is that we are seeing the First Lady for the first time in 26 days. And Dana, if I can just ask you about...
She's hot.
She obviously underwent surgery. She was out of the public eye for a little bit of time. I was reading Margaret Sullivan's piece in the Washington Post this morning, where she point where the First Lady, her staff, it costs taxpayers a lot of money. I think that her communications person referred to the media as ratted at one point in time, but it's a news story to know where she's been. Yes, look, this is a tough one. It really is, because she does, by definition, she's somebody who has a formal role, an informal public role, but that means that she does.
She barely moved.
But she wasn't elected. She doesn't have an official elected title, so she is not bound by
bullshit. If this was what's her name, Michelle Obama.
Rightly so, of people who
Trump
elect
would have been
officials
like
who don't know where
up
they are,
the
don't
ass
know
about
where
it.
they
It's
are, they were put there by the
unspoken.
people.
It's a
She wasn't.
precedence that was set.
Having
by
said that,
First
she's
Lady
all and so she's there's that part of it, and the fact that she is
Jackie
who
O
she
was
is.
like,
She
you know,
is
huge
somebody
fan.
who is fascinating to people in this country and around the world. People want to know. Where is Melania? People want to know everything that they can about her. She understands that. She plays with that with her clothes, sending signals, with
Plays with that,
things
sending
that she says, with things that she wears.
sending
So,
signals
in some
through
ways,
her
you know,
clothes.
she understands it in this particular case because it's medical. It's a tough one. It really is.
So nothing. She hasn't said anything.
No. They have her jaw wired shut.
Let's see. This is from 2 days ago.
I mean,
Signal
that's
with
the first time they've seen her in 26 days.
undergarments.
Then she hasn't said anything prior to that. She's not allowed to Twitter, I don't think, is she?
Yeah, why doesn't she have a Twitter? She seems like she's awful
Political
quiet.
thriller of the decade.
Another where is the president?
It's like Air Force One, big and fast. Bravo, James Patterson and Bill Clinton.
Bill Clinton.
Miss, the president is missing.
First Lady Melania Trump, who had not been seen publicly for the past 24 days, attended an official White House event with President Trump today. The event was a private Eastern reception for more than 40 Gold Star military families.
Gold Star military families who won't say anything or step out of line.
Extended absence from public view, saying the media was asking, "Where's Melania?" In a statement, the First Lady said it was a privilege to welcome the military families to the White House, and she thanked them and military members more broadly for their service. Glad she did that. But it is a legitimate question. We have not seen the First Lady in 24 days. It's not just the media. It would be common sense to ask how she's doing. Where is she? After all, she's the First Lady of the United States.
The political thriller of the decade.
First Lady will not go to G7 North Korea summits. Go figure.
Well, I mean, it's funny that he wants to get mad at everybody for their speculations, yet...
For everybody caring.
You're feeding it by keeping her from everybody. By, you know, your actions are causing this. So how can you be angry about people's human response? It's a natural response to that.
Who is the real Melania Trump? No one knows. Uh-oh. Let's see what this is.
Inquirer type of bullshit.
No, this was the Times video.
You know, I often wonder, what do you look at?
You know, I often wonder, what do you look at?
Melania Trump. Is she trapped? A reluctant First Lady? Or is she polished and a quiet but supportive First Lady?
One good thing about YouTube, I can watch you in 50-inch
Who is the
HD.
real Melania? Very few,
That must,
at least among those
how's that look?
publicly, will say.
I'm very strong.
She's fucking hot.
People, they don't really know me. People think
Ugh.
talk about me like, oh, Melania, oh, poor Melania. Don't feel sorry for me. Don't feel sorry for me. I can handle everything.
But as Donald Trump's presidency has progressed, the First Lady has become a versatile avatar. Her image split sharply down political lines. In one version of the public imagination, Melania is unhappy. She dislikes her husband and disagrees with his policies. She may even be mulling a divorce. This Melania has shown up on late-night TV and in tabloids.
You're beautiful, beautiful Melania.
Huh.
I can't take it anymore.
This is a Times video?
Then there's the other version of Melania, painted by conservative media as confident, fashion-forward, graceful, and adorable.
Why does fashion seem to make such a big difference?
Not just her quiet dignity, as you brought up, but also just this diplomatic use of fashion.
This version is closer to the official portrayal of Melania.
How? Okay, so I don't understand how they keep saying that that she's
a diplomatic use of
right. How do you use your clothes to say anything other than putting shit on your shirt? This is how desperate they are to try to paint her into something.
And focused on raising their son, Barron.
I support my husband 100%.
Oh, that's going to be a hard one to fake.
9-year-old son together, Baron.
9-year-old son. So they've been married for 9 years. He definitely cheated on her.
His place in the limelight. It's not the first time Melania's been in the public eye. She's a former model and jewelry designer.
I love when an idea comes to life, and I study architecture and design, and it's something very creative for me. I'm very passionate about what I design, and there's some
Listen to the voice.
When they got together in the late 1990s, the Trumps say their chemistry was instant.
We were both at the same party, and that's how we met. He came to me.
away?
I went crazy.
Melania and Donald became synonymous with the New York social scene.
Stood together for a number of years now. New Yorkers have come to know them as a very solid couple.
And in 2005,
Yeah, I keep getting notifications from Derek. They've been married since 2005.
In the following years, Melania's social media posts focus on fashion, travel, fitness, and spending time with family. Now, as the
She ride in the back seat.
one of the most outspoken presidents in recent history, Melania's silence has taken on a life of its own.
The most important
She rides in the back seat.
Yeah, so Baron can ride in the front.
Oh, fucking A.
She used to ride in the back with Baron, but now... Well, now he's thrown back, but whatever.
What the fuck are you talking about? My wife will never sit in the back seat, so my sons can sit up front.
I mean, that's the Indian culture.
Oh, yeah. Wow.
And
that's
that's who women voted for. They put that fucking pig in the fucking White House. Aren't you proud of yourselves?
No, they
Republican
didn't.
Women?
No, they
yes,
didn't.
They did.
Well, some did, but I mean, again, he lost the election by 2.7 million votes. That is a lot of people. That's a lot of people. 2.7 million votes. That's a lot. That's a big. That's not a lot. That's not a huge portion of the population, but that's a huge portion of the voters. Like, I wonder how many people actually vote. And then, wait, can I say it real quick? How many people voted in last election? Okay. Later analysis by the University of California project found that there were 235,248,000 people of voting age in the United States. Oh, wait. Voter turnout at a 20-year low in 2016. While election officials are still the 126 million votes already counted means... Okay, so about 130 million people maybe voted. So 3 million out of that is actually a decent number. That's a decent fucking number. Think about that.
Compared to the rest of the population in the other elections?
Well, just, I mean... 3 million people is a big fucking. I mean, it's a percentage. It's a measurable percentage. And the idea that he lost by 3 million votes and still won, that's crazy. Oh, man. Just crazy old guy here talking a bunch of nonsense that doesn't make any sense, right? It's all just conspiracy theory. Believe what you're told and don't listen to guys like me. I get it. Because I'm crazy. And like I say, I appreciate you guys sharing this if you're watching. It's not just about me getting my video. It's about you showing them you're not compliant. Complicit. Compliant. You name it. We do not submit. We do not agree. We won't just let you shut us fucking down. Selected, not elected. Exactly, Marty. There's a Bilderberg song called exactly that. You should check it out. It's one of our favorites. Selected, not elected. You can easily find it through YouTube. Not through my page, though. It's through Charles's page, so that part sucks, but oh well. Fuck. Good lord, man. After a little while of doing just this, my hand fucking hurts. So yeah, I still say that Derek is just letting it go, man. I still say Melania's missing. I say something's not right with what we just saw. Why would she just sit there and not say anything? And it's weird. It's fucking weird, yo. Like that fly on Hillary's face. All I taste is shit. Watching the debates, like that's what that shit is. But I'm watching all the plastic underneath the lights. I can't help but ask. It's one blender-filled fight. It's a good one though. Don't let my non-enthusiastic response and lag time is fast here. Yeah, no, it's instant. It's crazy. I checked out the video through Ange's page yesterday, and it was like instant. There's only like 1 or 2 second delay at the very most. I'm getting a buzz noise every time someone comments. No, you're getting my notification. I don't have my ringer off, see? You won't get it anymore. Strange, man. Pissed off. I'm pissed off, man. But it's a good sign, you know. Today the video has 8 likes and 4 views at this point. Sure, it'll have more when it's all said and done, but that's what happens, right? That's what starting over is all about. Is redoing it and building everything back up. Build it up, build it up, build it up. So I appreciate the hell out of you guys coming on here. I do. But I gotta get to work. See if I can't get some shit organized and make this woman not hate me so much. There's a video I found yesterday that started out about Kanye West, but then went into something totally different. I can't post it here, though. Well, I'm sure there's lots of videos that have lots of weird things. What was the point about that? Kanye West, obviously Kanye West broke from his programming, spoke his mind, and got silenced.
He looks creepy.
He's not him anymore. He got replaced. Something happened. And it had to do directly with Trump. Because right after it happened, the next thing you see is Kanye standing there with Trump. I just want to get my picture taken. It went into chipping and all the other kind of information. Yeah, well, it's weird because there's a lot of videos out there that are going to have lots of information in them. The percentage of that information that's legit and I don't know, you have to take it with a grain of salt, as always. There's a lot of weird shit going on, and there's a lot of, like, think about my videos. Prime example. Think about how difficult the time I have trying to get things out there, and then you see these other videos that. What did Nikki say the name of that page was?
What page?
The video. Look at when you're watching a truther. Look at how many viewers they have. Look at how many following they have. Look at, do they get censored, or do they seemingly have an open feed?
That page,
what are they doing differently?
That page with the new video is called Today I Watched.
Right, okay, so there's a page called Today I Watched, and the first video they made was called Diamonds Are a Lie. And within the very first video, within like 24 hours, 48 hours, that video had millions of views. And you go, well, how did they do that? What are they doing? I mean, even as far as if they're going to sponsor it. So how much money do you have to spend to get that kind of response? Because I've sponsored videos before, and it's a big waste of fucking money. You know, they tell you you're allowed to pick who you target, but it doesn't seem to work that way. But even still, especially a controversial video like that, going against the diamond industry, how does a video that potentially with that many potential repercussions and that potentially dangerous, and how does that video not get marked as spam, not get destroyed? You know, I don't understand. Okay, well, no, I do understand. How do you not understand that maybe there's something wrong there? And that's what I told Nikki right off the bat. I was like, wow, how do these guys have so much on their very first video? How does that work? You guys got to get to the real life. See you tomorrow morning. Have a great day. See you, Marnie. But how does something go from non-existent to millions of views, followers, subscribe, all just in a couple days? Are they really providing something that just outrageous, that amazing? I mean, it really was a good video. And then 3 videos later, their video is why it's impossible that they faked the moon landing. Why that was impossible.
why 100% we went to the moon. And that's what I told Nikki, right? See, there it is. There was the agenda. Get you looking and then hit you with that shit. Because that shit was ridiculous. That was a ridiculous video. They claimed that their number one argument for why they couldn't fake it is because they literally couldn't have done it. They had the technology to go to the moon, but they didn't have the technology to make a fake video about it. Bullshit. A funny thing happened on the way to the moon. Totally shows how they faked all the shots of the Earth and stuff like that. It's ridiculous, but it is what it is, right? I don't know. I think I'm going to follow Marnie's lead and jump off here. Robin, you know I always appreciate you, man. They're working hard to convince people. You're right, they are worried. Of course they are. They're terrified. You guys all have a good day. We'll be back tomorrow. Hopefully we'll be able to make it bigger tomorrow, guys. I mean, that's what this is all about. Hopefully this video gets out. We get a few subscribers. Hopefully they go get their free their $5 download at www.the-bilderberg BILDERBERG-group.com. It's a $5 download, 61 songs. Our newest song is called Fake News. Please share it. It's about the missing Melania Trump, man. If you care about truth, or if you care about people, because this is a person, this is a poor girl who got wrapped up in some shit, I think, way beyond anything she thought. And she's missing. It's a mother. A mother's missing. So help. Help. I'll continue to do my part. Even if they continue to shut me down, I will still be consistent in my part. Will you consistently help? Will you consistently share stuff? I'll do my part. You do yours, guys. I appreciate the hell out of you. You have a great day.